Little bunnies everywhere this morning. We love our little bunnies. It's gonna be a steamer today, guys. It's been so hot my eyelids sweat when I come outside. Greg is back to working on the big high tunnel. He finally got our smaller one cleaned out and ready to plant. And now he's putting up the purlins, I believe is what he said. And he'll probably finish that today. Our brother-in-law is still sick, so please continue to keep him in your prayers. So the tomatoes in this high tunnel, they seem to be doing pretty good. These are the blueberry varieties. We're eager to see how these do, but we're already getting buds on the blueberry varieties. Hoping to get some tomatoes before our first freeze, guys. It's incredible how well these squash plants have done in this high tunnel. We are continuing to get some summer squash, yellow squash off of these plants. They're just looking really good. They're looking much better now than they did back in the spring. So I'm liking that we're getting some squash throughout the summer. So here are the tomato plants that we put in our raised bed inside this high tunnel. And these are our cucumbers. Looking pretty good here. Sweet potatoes are exploding. They are looking gorgeous. Greg did have to put some phosphorus and some potassium in them. But guys, they are looking beautiful. And these are all in those wicking tubs. So my seed starts are looking quite happy. Shallots did pretty good. I probably got about 50% germination. I'll put some more seeds and some starters today. These are my Texas Early Grano onions. And these are my broccoli plants, which are the Waltham and the Cabriz. And these are more of my onions. So I'll be doing more seed starters today for that fall garden. It is heating up, folks. Look at that beautiful tower of power. I'm gonna back up here a little bit so you can see some of it. Guys, it's doing fantastic. I cannot wait to start harvesting some of this for my teas, but some of this is going to go into the freeze dryer. Some of the herbs and stuff, I've got some really good basil in there, and I have a different basil out in the garden, and the rosemary, a couple of the herbs that we're going to put in the freeze dryer. But what seeds am I starting today? Let's get started. So today, I'm gonna get me some spaghetti winter squash going. I'm gonna get me some of the blue curled Scotch kale. We loved this, guys, and it lasted up until just the last couple of weeks. We're gonna do some of the Vulcan Swiss chard, and then I got some Kensai Chinese celery. This is a 72 compartment seed starting tray, so let's get started. We are starting out with some good premium potting soil. I got the premium potting soil from Callaway's this time around because I really didn't want to go to Home Depot and wait in line or fight the mess of folks that are usually there whenever I pick this up. So we're going to put some of this beautiful potting soil in our seed starting trays and get going. So because we have that large high tunnel going in and we have that freeze dryer, I'm going to plant 72 of each of these because we want a hardy winter harvest that will last into the spring. And we want to be able to take care of our friends and our family. And we want to have enough to freeze dry, to make powders for smoothies. And we want to have enough to eat because we do add these in our soups and our casseroles. So we are going to plant pretty heavy on our greens this year. Now there are some greens that I'm not going to be able to plant until that high tunnel is ready because they're going to go directly in the ground, and that's going to include my spinach, radishes, which really aren't a green, but it's a fall and winter plant. Carrots. So some of those items will have to wait until that high tunnel is ready to go. So these Swiss chard seeds are nice size seeds, so I can see them in the compartments, and I'm going to put one seed per compartment so that I know how they germinated. So my packet says right here that there's a minimum of 100 seeds, and I'd say that that's probably right on the money. You can see I have that many left, and again, that compartment is 72, or that seed tray is 72 compartments. Get these covered up a little bit. Then we're going to wet them down, and I'm going to put them in the morning sun area. No afternoon sun, because we are still quite hot. Now they're saying next week, guys, we're going to have a couple of days where the high is only going to be around 90 degrees and we're expecting rain. Woo-wee, I sure hope we get that. So let's water these down. Give them a good watering. And we will water these twice a day until we're able to put them in some 4-inch pots. You want to keep them damp, guys, until they germinate. Next on our list is the blue curled kale. So we're going to go ahead and do 72 compartments of these. Now, guys, we went through our kale like crazy this year, and I know a lot of people are like, ooh, yuck, well, you can always make kale chips, but that's not all. We put this in our cabbage soup, which I made many times, especially back in the cooler weather. And guys, that cabbage soup freezes very well, and this kale is such a great addition. We also put it in one of our Tuscan Italian soups. We put it in our smoothies. High nutrient, dense nutrient value in this kale, guys, in your greens in general. And again, what we'll do is we will freeze some of it, or freeze dry some of it with our freeze dryer, and we're going to make up some really nice nutrient dense freeze dried green powders for all kinds of things. So we're really excited, and we want to make sure we have plenty of this on hand. These seeds are more in line with like your radish seeds, your lettuce seeds, your broccoli, your brassicas. So these are all very similar. Got them all planted, give them a little spread. So it was really hard to get just one seed. Can't eat just one, guys, can't eat just one. Anyway, get these watered down real good, and they'll go sit in their spot. Next is our Kinsai. You know, I got this Texas thing going on, guys. I have a hard time pronouncing some of this, but anyway, it's Chinese celery. And look how little bitty those seeds are. Let's get started. Little bitty seeds there. Now what we're learning about celery is it is a great plant for cut and come again, meaning you just cut out the outer stalks, and then you let it continue to grow as you kind of prune it to take your stalks for eating, and let it keep going instead of pulling up the whole plant. So since those seeds, guys, were really small, I'm not going to be as aggressive on smearing my dirt around. I'm going to be gingerly with them. And you may ask why I'm starting my celery in a seed tray and not directly sowing. And it's because so I can properly space them. I don't want to waste any seed. I don't want to waste any plants. And this will allow me to do proper spacing in the high tunnel. Going to water them a little gingerly as well. And then I'll label them and put them in their spot where they're going to be until ready to go into the high tunnel again. Early morning sun, by the afternoon they're in the shade. The heat is extreme here in Texas right now. My eyelids even sweat. Woo, guys, I gotta come in about every 20 minutes to get cooled off. It is, I don't know if I told you this or not, but it's blistering hot in my eyelid sweat. But let me show you what my next video is gonna be about. I'm so excited. So we had a neighbor give us some venison sausage. So generous, so very generous. I had one of my subscribers bring me some Italian peppers. I'm gonna add banana peppers to this. And then I have some cherry tomatoes fresh from my garden that I froze. And what I did when I froze these is I put them in a regular freezer bag, froze them until they got hard. Then I put them in a vacuum seal and vacuum sealed them so it wouldn't crush them. So this is all gonna thaw out, and I'm gonna mix it up, guys, with about 2 dozen eggs, or maybe more, and I'm gonna make me some freeze-dried breakfast eggs and sausage with my tomatoes and peppers. So you wanna hit that subscribe button, and you wanna stay tuned. Now, back to our seed starting. So I got all my seeds started that I'm gonna do today. Let's take a quick look at my tower of power, and now I'm gonna go in there and get started on my eggs and sausage. So the calendula is starting to come up really well. Whew. This is my chamomile, tarragon. Tarragon is full of potassium, guys. You need to start looking at your tarragon information. This is the lemon balm. And look at my toothache plant. I'm telling you, I can't rave enough about this toothache plant, guys, and how much it really does work. So some things are starting to peter out because of the heat, but here's our mullein. Here is that beautiful basil that I have. It's like a minty taste. This is the eucalyptus. This is for my good old sinuses. This is my coneflowers. Here is the lavender. Sage is starting to kick in. My fennel is having a little bit of a rough time. I'm gonna have to move this, start moving this in the shade a bit. These are my dandelions. Boy, this rosemary is really liking this tower of power. So you can see I have quite a few herbs and teas still going. When these peter out and I'm able to harvest, oh, here's my thyme. See, it got a little too hot. I will put lettuces and spinach in this baby for us, because I'm also going to have lettuces and spinach in the high tunnels out there, but I'll also put some here. You can never get enough greens over the winter time. So that's the wrap for this video. I'll be moving on to the second one, and then I'll show you how we put it in the freeze dryer. But anyway, thank you guys. I'm going to be doing quite a few videos over the next 5 to 6 days. I'm off until next Wednesday. Looking very forward to that. I'm looking forward to the cooler weather that we're supposed to get starting on Saturday. I'm looking forward to the rain chances that we're supposed to get starting on Sunday. Woo-wee. So anyway, guys, still showing you what fall seeds you can get going. So go ahead and get them going. And if you've got a nice shady spot, you can put them in the heat of the day. They should do just fine. Get ready for that fall garden, guys. I think our fall garden is going to be good ones this year. I do think that we're going to get hit with some of the winter storms that we did last year, but I do think it's going to be in January. So they're saying it's going to be a bone-chilling cold here in Texas at times. It's going to do a flip-flop. So we'll go from cold to warm, which is not too abnormal for Texas. But right now, I would take some very cold weather. So thank you for watching. Take care. God bless, and stay tuned.